This is Coffee Cruise, conversations for the road ahead. Grab your coffee, buckle up, and let's cruise. All right, coffee cruisers, we're still in the car and still chasing coffee and conversations. But today, we're taking things a little deeper. What started as a normal drive turned into one of those conversations that you don't plan for, but that's necessary, and it just kind of finds you. So before we get into it, I do want to share a quick note for anyone listening. Today's episode touches on grief, loss, and cancer. We do get into some personal and at times detailed experiences. So if you're in a tender place right now, please take care of yourself as you listen. Pause if you need to, come back to it later if you need to, or simply just know you're not alone in any of it. Because the truth is, life has a way of throwing some pretty big speed bumps in the road. And lately, it feels like we've hit quite a few. Between the two of us, our families have experienced a lot of loss in a short amount of time. And today, we're just talking through it. Honestly, openly. The way you do when you're in a car with someone you trust. So this is just one of those drives. It's not just coffee, not just chaos, but real conversation. And it's the kind that reminds you what really matters in life. So, grab your coffee, settle in, and come along for the ride. I've got my little baby sister with me today. She's going to be my passenger princess, and we're going to take things a little deeper today. Not just coffee, not just chaos, but we're going to have a little segment on grief. And I couldn't think of anything or anyone better to talk to about it than my sister. It's nice to have a sister to go through things with in life, and we've had a lot of tragedies in the past few years, but lost like 6 people in a year and 3 parents. Was it 6 people in 1 year? Yeah.
I think it was
And 3
about
parents
a year and a half.
in the past year. Yeah, year and a half. So, the whole point is just conversations for the road ahead. Oh, speed bump.
That often happens in life.
Yes.
You hit a speed bump and you keep moving.
Hey, I like that. It's like our motivational quote for the day.
And relax.
Where am I going?
Maybe straight.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe not. I'm not quite sure.
Well,
Speed bump, right? Keep moving forward.
that's right. If one path doesn't take you there, try another. You know what I
I'm
mean?
wondering if it was straight that way.
That's what I'm thinking. Let's go. Real talk, though. How you doing today? You
I'm
feel
doing
sad? You
well.
feel happy? What do you feel?
I actually feel at peace today.
Good.
I felt at peace for a while. Yesterday, I slept a lot. I was real tired and headaches. But then today, I woke up a whole new peaceful
Yeah.
princess. Winter blues, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, I think everybody deals with tough times and grief and stuff, but it's definitely hit you a little harder in the winter for some reason.
Well, and you have the holidays. It's the Burr month,
Yes,
you know, and
that's
all
true.
of the family gatherings and events that you're technically supposed to be happy for. People don't realize that not everyone experiences that same happiness, or for some people, no happiness at all.
True. And I feel like we hold our breath and we try to make it happy because we have a daughter.
Yeah.
Or a niece for you and
Mm-hmm.
a young child in our family.
Yeah.
And other children too. And we had to get through all the Burr months, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
But then we have January, and like half of our family's
Yeah.
birthdays are in January. So then I think February, you get a chance to breathe,
Mm-hmm.
but then you get a chance to reflect. And I think that's makes it sad. But for some reason, the sun helps.
Yeah. I agree. I think trying to put on a face during those months, just, because we want your Avery to feel good and all of our family to feel good, and we want to be present in the moment, but really we're kind of, especially this year and last year, disassociating, and it's exhausting.
Yeah. Whitney, my first question though is going to be, if we were having coffee right now, what would you be drinking?
I would be drinking from Dunkin', and I'm a Dunkin' girl. I'd be drinking a large iced coffee with hazelnut and blueberry.
Sugar-free or?
Sugar-free, but I would be adding 2 Splenda and some cream, because you've got to have the cream in there.
Are you a cold foam fan?
Not really.
Yeah, I'm with you. But I honestly am more into the small local
Mhm.
coffee shops?
I don't with my work schedule, don't get a lot of time to go around and really sit at different coffee shops and things, and I know I can on the weekends, but I usually sleep in a little later, for that,
Yeah.
so
What does coffee mean to you as a teacher?
energy.
Is it a part of your everyday life?
Mostly, yes. It's coffee is it's not only something for me to help me function, but it's also a treat. It's also something that is like my own little special treat throughout the day, while I'm teaching and just to grab it and
Your
get comfort,
pick
my
me
pick
up?
me up. Yeah.
I love that. Sometimes I deliver you coffee.
You do. It's my favorite time, and I
Yeah.
love because I get to see you too, and it's usually just like a fun little exciting exchange, and we're so happy and excited.
I think it's crazy that, like, just a little gesture like that, bringing somebody just a cup of coffee, it can turn their whole day around.
Yeah. You're good about that. You always seem to know when I need a little pick me up, and you're always there for me.
Yep. Yeah, we've had like I said, difficult journey, um, the past year and getting through all the firsts without
Mhm.
a lot of our dad, without our mother and father-in-law. Our whole dynamic looks different, and it's actually interesting for listeners that don't know us. We're actually married to brothers. So, we have experienced the exact same loss this past year. Both of our mother-in-law and father-in-law passed away from cancer, about a year apart. And so we've both been dealing with that with our husbands and
Mhm. And in between their deaths, we lost our father,
yeah.
and I guess the blessing in all of this is that we are married to brothers, and we do get to experience this together versus alone,
Yeah,
and
thank God.
and
I
we're
don't
here to support and our not only our husbands, but each other, and so that has been the only not the only comforting thing in all of this, but it's definitely helpful.
it makes you wonder if sometimes, that's why we are with brothers and why everything worked out the way it did because God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, knew we would all need each other through this time in life because man, it has been challenging.
Yes.
But I think that getting away and even I find that like with having coffee, right? Like it slows you down
Yeah.
so that you are reflecting and you are having those deeper conversations. So, how do you think grief has shown up in your life? Has like impacting relationships or what is
Definitely
it?
has impacted relationships, but I feel like more so it's a, feeling within myself that and it's not so much that I feel depressed, as almost it changed the way I see things.
Physically your body, right?
Oh, yeah, like,
And mentally and emotionally, like we feel very numb.
numb and exhausted all of the time, like and I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily depressed, I just don't have a desire to please people right now, like, I kinda wanna
Mhm.
do what I wanna do, and if that means laying around and watching TV or just being with my dogs at home, like, I don't feel like I need to be the yes person right now and
Yeah.
go do a bunch of different things that I'm not really interested in.
Yeah, and what's interesting is last night, we went to that pizza
Mhm.
place, which was really cool,
Yeah.
and noticed somebody in, in the crowd that I think her name was Claire
Claire, yeah.
Sardino, um, and they had just come out with a movie, Song Sung Blue. Is that right?
Yeah.
And we watched it, part of it last night, and you and I both had an emotional response to it
Mhm.
because there's some traumatic events knock her ass completely down, and she starts to build herself back up. And I think we're in that point right now. Like
Yeah.
we're at that pivot. Like we've gone really low, and it's a roller coaster, right? Grief. Some days you're good, the
Yeah.
next day it's hard, but you literally have to pull yourself out of it. You
Oh,
have to
yeah.
make yourself
Well,
do
and,
things, and it's so hard.
like you said, healing, it's not linear. Like, some days you feel good and some days you don't, and I think that there was although there was a lot of trauma that, felt like a gut punch in that video or in that movie, there was also a lot of inspiration and hope
Hmm.
because she did pull herself out of some of the most craziest, insane things.
That changed her life completely. And that's the thing is that you can let it change you, or you can choose to still live the life that you want to live, despite any trials or tribulations that come your way.
Exactly.
It's all about like grit and determination. And I don't know, I really felt that pull, that emotional pull when watching it. But and it kind of made me sad. But then like today it's like motivating, right? Like, so it's okay to you need to feel your feelings, but just don't sit in the sadness too long, I think.
Well, and I think that you said it perfect to me before when we had a conversation. It's okay to want to be at home and it's okay to want to do your things, but sometimes, especially for my niece who loves to be around me, sometimes you have to do things for other people too,
Yeah.
and it does. It makes you feel better once you do get out of the house and things like that. But I just think with the emotional exhaustion, sometimes I've noticed a change in myself, not necessarily wanting to go out and do the things. I want to just relax and focus on, I guess, building my mental health up.
And that's totally normal. And what the hardest thing is, like literally people tell you this with anything. The hardest thing is that first step. And it is so true because you don't want to, you don't want to.
Mm.
And that's what I kept thinking in that movie, all the different times I've been knocked down. And thank God I had Avery because as hard as that first step was, she was the push for it.
Oh,
And so I don't know, just I could feel all the emotions in that because everything was impacting her family. It wasn't just her, it was like everybody around her.
hmm.
And so
And
it's
people
just
also don't realize the traumas that the family has in these events. Like when you were going through your treatment for your cancer, we will always rally around you and be there for you. But it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch my best friend and my sister being so sick and so much pain. All while trying to put on a brave face, for us to rally around your husband, Mike, and your daughter, and just trying to help. It was a very emotional time, and I do think that watching that even kind of struck a chord with just past traumas.
okay, yeah, you actually bring up a really good point here. Because grief really opens a door to a lot of things that we carry and the people around us carry, even things from years ago, things that maybe we already worked through. And for me, one of those moments that really changed everything was going through cancer. And I know that, like, as you've talked about before, it's just as hard on the caretakers and the family and the friends to watch everything completely change for your loved one. But it also changes you. So, but like, I'm so thankful for all of you. But I think back to the mask I did wear and
Yep.
that nobody knows what it's really like,
Right.
and nobody can know until you go through it. Even every cancer survivor, everybody's
Right.
so different. I'm so thankful though for you and Mike and mom and everybody that stepped in because that was the hardest part was just like releasing, I don't know what you want to call it, a guard, releasing
Well,
pride,
yeah.
releasing ego to let people help me. But it wasn't just me, it was my daughter. Like I physically could not do some things. I pushed through as much as I could, but in the end, like I had to rest, I had to heal.
Well, and just missing out on some of those pivotal points for her, and not to no fault of your own. If you're trying to get better and heal,
Yeah.
and you miss out on some of those things, and I know that hurt a lot to you. Just and those are moments you won't get back. But I do think that you live every day like it's going to be your last, and I love that about you. Like you've just changed your mindset and your perspective to say, hey, we're going to make the memories, we're going to go do the things, we're going to all be together and enjoy what we have.
Yeah, and I think it's hard too because people take things for granted, and even me after the cancer, but like the cancer like really opened my eyes. I remember when I got diagnosed, and like I've said on before, you waste so much time worrying or even little stupid fights. Like it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Like in the end, don't stress about money. Don't stress about stupid family arguments and things like that because we're all going to die. But at the same time, you have to have boundaries. Like, you have to have, if somebody's impacting your mental or physical health, you have to have boundaries and that's okay too.
Exactly.
Um, but just live your life. I think that was like my biggest thing is I feel like I lived my life for a lot of other people. And so now I'm living the life that I want. And I don't need to be dependent on anybody. If I want to go do something, I will do it.
Right. I
Mm,
think it's this next, what was that one?
yeah. Um, yeah. So as hard as cancer was, like it was a blessing in a way because I learned so much about life. And it is, I'm telling you now, I'm 6 years out in remission, and it is so hard not to get sucked back in, like to what society tells us our life should look like. I don't know. It's just a very interesting perspective. And so if I can help share that and help anybody who's either going through cancer actively, who is a caretaker, or who's a survivor, or anyone in general, really. That's my goal.
Mhm.
And honestly, we've been through every single side of it.
Right.
Or I have. I've been a two-time cancer survivor, Hodgkin's lymphoma and basal cell carcinoma. And then we've had a lot of caretaking. Um, so it's quite an interesting ride. And it's really sad that cancer is becoming so
Prevalent.
prevalent. Yeah.
It really is. I mean, not only did we watch it with you and many others, and just to think about, like, our grandma who passed away at a very young age from cancer,
Yeah.
and just it takes a huge toll because it
Oh, we've been scared of
you're
it our whole
scared of
life.
it, and
Yeah.
even more so now, you've always got that wonder every time you're
Oh
in
god,
pain of
yeah.
some sort, like, it's very traumatic, and it's very, um, you know, it just causes that anxiety and fear
Yeah.
that
But
you
that's the
don't
thing.
know.
That's the thing. What I realized, and I lived like that for the first couple years, and I won't deny that sometimes that happens to me, but there's a point where it is torturing you.
Mhm.
Maybe a year, 2 years after treatment. I mean, you're still going to the doctor and stuff, but it literally torments you. And then you make a choice, right? And you say, fear's not going to control my life because I have no control. So
Right.
whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
Yep.
And so when you do that, it's like very freeing. Again, I'm not going to say if I don't get sick, I don't at least think about it or cross my mind. And it is weird how, you know, I've lost a lot of mentors and friends to cancer.
Mm.
And it is weird how that impacts me. Um, but I choose to live my life for them as well. And I hate to always just talk about my cancer, but there's a huge, like, I know a lot of people are interested too, like how I first found out I had cancer. And
I do think, though, that there is people wanna know, like, they wanna know how you found out. What were your symptoms? I mean, people have an interest for those things. I mean, it's just kinda
yeah.
like when someone passes away and you just have you wanna know what happened, you want all the details.
Well, and the biggest thing too is learning to be your own advocate.
Yeah.
Um, I knew something was wrong for a good year because I kept getting sick and that wasn't like me. And it was nonstop at night too. Like I would get these coughs that would literally gag me or make me want to puke it. And then I would keep getting sick and just feeling so exhausted. But I thought I had a 2-year-old. I thought it was just part of motherhood.
Yeah, we're gonna turn
Um,
this light right here.
and then it came to the point where I was having like nonstop fevers,
Mhm.
very low grade though, and just completely wiped out. I remember my husband saying, I actually ruined one of his father's day. I just couldn't do anything and felt like I got run over by a truck. And I remember him saying, um, go to urgent care tomorrow and make sure you don't have the flu or something.
Mhm.
And so I started thinking, ooh, because I was getting nauseous and I was losing a bunch of weight. I started thinking, oh, what if I'm pregnant again?
Well, and I remember thinking that too, and I remember the day I was at work. I was working summer school, and I
Uh,
remember you saying you were getting these low grade temperatures, and I was like, "Wait, we thought maybe you're having a baby." And
as I
then
was so nauseous, yeah,
once the fever started getting, I mean, you were
every
fevering every
day,
single night. I
yeah.
was 101, and
It was only at night. It was so weird.
I remember just having that realization and knowing even before you were diagnosed, I'm like, she's got cancer. Like something
Yeah,
is definitely
I
wrong.
didn't think it was cancer. I just thought I didn't know. Like, I thought it could have been the flu or I could have been pregnant. I never once thought it was cancer. We had gotten a new mattress, so I would have
Yeah.
night sweat completely through my shirt. And then the fevers were like super low grade and only at night. And then I'd feel like shit at night and I'd
Yeah.
have cough attacks at night. So I didn't really know what was going on, but I knew something was off. I actually even kind of felt like mono, right?
Wow.
And so I remember he asked me to do that. And so that morning I took Avery to daycare and I went to the grocery store and I passed um, the prompt care, and I was like, "I'm not gonna do that." And then I was like, he asked me to, I'll just go in real quick just to make sure I don't have the flu." And so told them everything. They decided to do a chest X-ray, and I actually remember sitting in the room, in the gown and like taking a funny picture and sending it to you guys.
I remember.
And then I remember she came in and said, "Well, there is something in your chest, a mass in your chest, and it's not really good to like let that hang around. You should probably go to the emergency room and just see." She never once said anything about cancer or whatever, and I'm thinking, "Oh, man, like maybe I have pneumonia or something." Tried to get tried to get into my doctor to get a CT scan, and that was quite a mess. I could go on and on. Um, we did the CT scan. That took, another week. And then that's when it was determined. I woke up, I think it was like 6 a.m. and to a my chart message, and nobody else in the house was awake. And it was one of 3 different types of cancer. 2 of them were terminal. That was the scariest. I can still feel it in my gut. I just woke Mike up and we just cried, 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 cried. I reached out to my friend who was my college roommate, and she's also a physician's assistant. She said, call your doctor right away. Tell them you need to get in to have the biopsy. So that morning I called and the lady on the phone was so rude to me. The whole process was horrible. It was a nightmare. They weren't able to get me in for a biopsy forever. We were getting ready to go on vacation. It was just a complete mess. And the doctor told me, look, we can't get you in for a biopsy for a couple months, but you can't go on vacation.
Mind you, this was a vacation we were going on for our father-in-law who had just found out he had cancer.
Yeah.
So we were going
I
to
planned and organized the whole
we were
thing.
trying to go do something as a family, not knowing his fate and
Yeah.
what was gonna be in the road ahead for him.
Yeah, he had been in chemo for a year, and we really needed to have a family thing. And so, yeah, we found this out just a few weeks before. And so I was trying not to tell too many people about it, especially my mom, because her mom passed from cancer. And I just wanted to know exactly what it was before I told anyone. Finally, I think I told you, Whitney, and I broke down and told mom. And I'm glad I told mom because she was a little bulldog and was able to help us get into the biopsy sooner. And so did that. Oh my God, that could be a whole nother thing. The biopsy was the worst part of the whole experience. I mean, I was so nervous for it. I remember Mike went with me. It was a CT guided needle biopsy. And I remember going into this cold, dark room, and there's this CT, machine right there, and sat down, and I found out I would be awake for it. And it was very scary to think about. They wouldn't let Mike in the room with me. They strapped me down to this table, and they administered local, which hurt in my chest. It was important that when he told me, because it was like a straw through my chest, and he would go down with a needle and take a clip of the tissue, and he would tell me when to stop breathing, because that's why I had to be awake for it. I don't know the whole medical part of it, but apparently you can't be breathing during that part with a straw through your chest. So it took everything to try to focus. I was in that much pain and that much torture. And he had to do 15 up and down. It felt like days. It was horrible. And I wish other people knew that there were options, because I didn't know that until later. When I finally I got into Siteman in South County. They were phenomenal, and they did my port and stuff. And I asked them and told them about the experience, and they said, "Oh no, 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 we would have knocked you out. You would have never had to deal with that." So I just want people to know that there are options. You have to advocate for yourself, and sometimes going through those tough things. I mean, I'm convinced I could go through anything now, because that was just so tough. But it was my mentality and the breathing that really got me through it. So
What a traumatizing experience.
very traumatizing. I know we could talk so much more about, some of our experiences. But we'll stop there. Let's go check this place out. This is cool. So this is Long Story Cafe, coffee shop in Belleville?
Yes, in Belleville, downtown Belleville.
And this place is packed. This parking lot is packed.
I know. It always is.
Yeah.
And it's an old railway station.
This is an old railway station?
Like a railroad station,
Oh,
where people
yeah.
would come in and get their tickets and stuff. Yeah.
This is such a cool building.
Clara B's is another, a restaurant inside this coffee shop that has its own food, and they have so many good-looking breakfast items.
Do you know that you can hold events here?
No.
This would be a perfect space for an event.
Well, I would love to come here in the evening with those patio lights on.
Oh,
and
yes.
Sit outside
I agree with you.
And they have, Clara B's here even has cocktails other than coffee cocktails. I'm looking at mimosa margarita.
That would be fun.
Maple bourbon smash, Bloody Marys, Lucky Charms. It all looks delicious.
That's awesome. All right. So we got our drinks to go. and I got honey and cookie butter
Oh,
latte.
pretty good.
What'd you get?
I got a dirty soda. It has peach and sparkling water, and then it also has a little cream in it, and it almost tastes like peaches
Let me
and
try
cream a
that.
little bit. Maybe could have put a little more cream. I don't know.
Holy cow, that's
Isn't
really
that
good.
refreshing?
Yeah. Let's try the honey with cookie butter.
Mm.
Dude, that's good. That's really good. It's like very faint flavors, which I like. I don't like overpowering or too sweet. I want to taste the actual coffee.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
really good. Let me try
honey cookie
yours.
butter for sure.
Oh, that's really
That's
good
delicious. Well, this has been a lot of fun, sis. I've really enjoyed our conversation.
for
So
sure.
maybe one day we'll have a deeper dive. But um, again, I just hope this episode helps people in some way.
Oh, I think it will. I mean,
Yeah.
just knowing a lot of my friends and family who are going through similar situations, I definitely think it helps, to hear other people's perspectives and things and to get an understanding of
Yeah.
how we feel and to know that they're not alone in this and everything,
Sometimes there's beauty in pain, as hard as it is, but you have to stop and reflect. Grief's different for everybody.
Right.
Right now, we're able to talk about this.
Mhm.
There's days we're not able to talk about it, and that's
Right.
okay.
It definitely is okay. And I think if you're in a place where you feel you want to talk to someone but you don't know how, reach out to someone.
Yeah.
Ask them. I mean, everyone has gone through some kind of experience, and it's nice to lean on someone and know that you're not alone.
Totally agree. Anyways, thanks for cruising with us. We definitely took the long way. This has been a long episode, but it's been wonderful, and we could keep having conversations like this. But I think that's a wrap for today. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
All right, that was a little heavy. Everybody take a breath. However, I think that's kind of the beauty of these drives. You just never really know where the conversations are going to take you. And if there's one thing that I keep coming back to, it's that grief doesn't mean something's broken. It means something mattered. It means there was love there. And that love doesn't just disappear. It just changes shape. So for anyone listening today, whether you're walking through grief, supporting somebody who is, or carrying something quietly on your own, just know you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to be back to normal. You just have to keep moving forward. Even if it's slow, even if it's messy, even if it's just one step at a time. Sometimes those steps look like a quiet drive, a conversation you didn't plan, or just sitting with somebody who understands. If today's conversation hit a little close to home for you, a few things that have helped us and they might help you too. They're really simple, but powerful. And sometimes it's just getting outside even for a few minutes, letting yourself rest without guilt, talking about the person you lost instead of avoiding it, and reaching out to someone you trust, even if it feels hard. And if you're going through something like cancer or supporting someone who is, please don't be afraid to advocate for yourself. Ask questions, get second opinions, lean on your people. You don't have to carry this alone. And if you do need more support, there's some really great communities and resources out there. There's the American Cancer Society, Cancer Support Community, Grief Share, or even just local support groups in your area. Sometimes just being around people who understand can make all the difference. So thank you for taking this drive with us today. And whether you're holding a coffee or just holding it together, we're really glad you're here. This is Coffee Cruise. Remember, take the long way.
Thanks for riding with us. We'll see you at the next stop.